Welcome to this ZBrush 15-minute crunch. Okay, so during this lesson what I want to do is show you some of the basics navigating around inside of ZBrush. So you've got ZBrush open, and the first thing you want to do is create a tool. So if you come over here to this floating menus, which are on the right hand side, we can pick a tool from here. You'll also see down the bottom we've got what's called a light box. This is a place where you can easily grab different things like brushes, alphas, these sort of things for sculpting. But we'll look at that later. But for now, what we can do is hit the hide button. On the left hand side we have the options for the brushes and setting alphas and textures and materials and colors down this side, and at the top we have different options for actually relating to the brushes or whatever tool we're using. And of course at the very top we've got the menu for going really in depth with certain things. Okay, so that's a bit of a look there. So we want to add an item to here. Now if you don't grab a tool from here, the tools palette, then and you just decide to left mouse button click on here, what will happen is you'll get this and you'll be like, why can't I do anything? Okay, and that's because with ZBrush you need to create a tool and then you need to go into edit. Now to get rid of this big mess that's happening here, what you can do is press Ctrl and N. So hold the Control key, press N once, and that will clear the canvas. Okay, so we want to add a tool, and at the moment we've got none selected, so we need to go and select one. So let's go over to the tools option, click here, and we're just going to bring out a sphere here, or yeah, actually a sphere. We're going to click that once, nothing will happen, but now we can click with our left mouse button or use our tablet, and I would suggest using a Wacom tablet or some sort of graphics tablet when working with ZBrush. It's very good to have that control on using a graphics tablet. At the moment I'm using my mouse, so I'm just going to click and I'm going to drag. You can see I can drag this ball. I'm holding my left mouse button down, I can drag this ball. When I release, okay, the first thing I need to do is go into edit mode. Now if I don't go into edit mode, we're going to get the same thing happen. We're going to get loads of these circles appearing, and we're actually only creating one. It's just creating a snapshot on the surface whenever we leave it. So again, to get rid of that, press the Control key, press N, right, drag the circle out that you're happy with. If you want to constrain it to proportions, you can hold the Shift key and that will snap it to this correct view. And then you go straight into edit mode. Now we've gone into edit mode, we can actually go around our object. If I turn the poly frame on down here, you can see the object, and if we left mouse button we can click and go around the object. Okay, if we use the Alt key and press the Alt key and left mouse button, you can translate it, and the right hand mouse button you can translate as well. We can also release the Alt key, press the left mouse button, and you can tumble around. Okay, press the Alt key, you can go up and down. But if we now, whilst holding the left mouse button, release the Alt key, we can also zoom out. Yeah, so let me go through that again. Left mouse button, tumble around the object. Okay, hold the Alt key, translate the object up and down and around. With the Alt key held and the left mouse button, let go of the Alt key and you can zoom in and out. So by using those three functions you can get anywhere in the scene, okay? And look at that. So that's a quick look at what we can do with navigating around inside of ZBrush. Now another thing I need to show you, if you press the Alt key and hold the left mouse button and move the object off to the side of the canvas, it will go out of view. Now if you need to view that object, you can press F on the keyboard and it will frame it for you. So it's a handy little tip there to be able to get to that. Also, if you want to turn the ground plane on, at the moment we can go around this and look, but we can't see an up or down. We can see an up or down by putting the ground plane on. Now you can see that there's a ground plane. We can tumble around. We can also have the object in perspective by pressing the perspective button. You can turn this off and on if you want perspective on that as well. Okay, And of course we've looked at polyframe, so that's the actual frame that makes up our geometry. Okay, now just looking at this is called a subtool, so we can have more than one object inside here. If I open up the subtool palette, you can see that we've got that one selected. So if I wanted to, I could add another. I could come down to append, and I could append something like a cylinder. So now you see we've got two, and they're over the top of each other. Okay, but I can go down to this one, and I can turn the eye icon off, and you see the cylinder. I can come up to the top one here, turn this back on, select this layer, and I could turn this one off. So you can find your way around and add more subtools inside of ZBrush using these techniques. I hope you've enjoyed this quick tutorial on the basics of navigating around inside of ZBrush and how to turn tools on and off, looking at the perspective and the floor and the polyframe of our subtools within ZBrush. Welcome to UKOnlineTrainingCentre.com. Now, I just wanted to tell you about my website. If you visit my website, you can get a lot of good deals direct from me. So get in the loop and visit UKOnlineTrainingCentre.com, where I'm going to be offering discounts and coupons, latest news and previews, live webinars and podcasts for 2017. So it's a really good way to directly get in touch with me and see the latest goings on all of the courses that I create. Now remember, I also create the monster training courses as well. So UK Online Training Centre is a combination of all of my courses all in one place, and I'm going to be offering loads of new features for 2017. So hopefully you check me out and see what's all going on in the world of UK online training.